on your side. But first, this breaking news alert.
And that breaking news, a school bus in a ditch. Police say a van hit that bus, which was full of students at the time. The impact knocked the bus into a ditch, as you can see here, and it created the mess all around it. You can see ABC6 first reported this breaking news story around 3 o'clock today.
Terry Sullivan is now live near Shanahan Middle School in Orange Township with what the students saw. Terry?
Yeah, there is a lot going on behind me right now, so I'm going to direct your attention right over there. The Highway Patrol is just wrapping up its investigation. Just moments ago, they actually managed to pull the school bus out of the ditch, and in case you're wondering how hard that job was, just look at those tires. Look at all the chains, but the tires, how thickly that mud is just caked on there. And as bad as everything looks, it's amazing that all the kids are safe and sound tonight. As you mentioned, that crash happened around 2 to 3 this afternoon, moments after the bus left the middle school and headed east. Some of the students tell me they noticed a van driving down the middle of the street. Next thing they knew, they were in the ditch.
Well, the car was sort of in the middle of the lane, and I looked around, and sort of in slow motion, the car crashed us. And the bus was almost going to tilt, but then mud sort of stopped it.
I was really scared. I called my mom right away, and she came, and they had us all get to one side of the bus so it wouldn't tip, and really scared.
Yeah, I can imagine being on that bus as a teenager. That'd be incredible. Now, we do know the man who was driving the van was rushed to Grady Hospital. No word on his condition. And we do know the bus driver was taken away to be tested for drugs, as is protocol in accidents involving school buses. So one more look behind me. You see they're almost ready to haul the bus out of the way. The kids were excited because they were told the bus would be in the ditch with the school bags on. But kids, sorry, just moments ago we saw someone who appears to be maybe the principal, I don't know, loading up a couple of carts and hauling all the bags into the school. So no excuses tonight. Live in Delaware County, Terry Sullivan, ABC6 News.
New at 5, a haunting 5-page letter from the woman who gunned down an employee at a local auto repair shop. That letter sent only to ABC6, and the postal stamp shows it was sent the day of the shooting. You saw it as breaking news here on ABC6 last Friday. A disgruntled customer, Bridget McFerrin, was shot. She shot and killed Tammy Borer at Ohio Engine and Transmission Exchange in West Columbus. McFerrin then killed herself. ABC6 consumer investigator Tom Susi read through McFerrin's letter, and Tom, from her words, it appears this was no impulsive act of violence. This sounds like premeditated murder.
And Yolanda, not only that, but this letter suggests that Bridget McFerrin planned on killing a few people that day. Now listen to the first line in this letter. I'm not in the world today, and hopefully a couple of people are not either. This envelope is postmarked Friday, May 13th, the day all hell broke out here at Ohio Engine and Transmission Exchange on McKinley Road. Bridget McFerrin, distraught over repairs made to her '99 Toyota Corolla, gunned down 60-year-old Tammy Borer, a longtime employee here in customer service. The 53-year-old crazed customer then walked off and fatally shot herself in the head. McFerrin wrote this letter May 12th, just one day before she decided to end 2 lives. McFerrin writes, I am not in the world today, and hopefully a couple of people are not either. I don't think 2 wrongs make a right. I did it to make a stand for consumers. No one should have to go through what I have gone through. She goes on to say, I am persecuted by everyone. Everyone expects me to fix and be resilient when people are beating the hell out of me. McFerrin writes, I am taking a stand. I am tired of this life. It's too much, and I don't want to ever go through it again. She tells family and friends, you can have everything in the house to sell for what I owe. As for this car, burn the car for all I care. McFerrin also writes about her 3 dogs. I feel horrible about abandoning my dogs who have given so much to me for 8 to 10 years. Please try and find a good place for them with a fenced-in yard and caring family. If you can't, please take them to a vet and have them put down. I can't stand the thought of them being dumped at the Humane Society. McFerrin goes on, I know people will be affected by this, and I am truly sorry for that. I don't want it to be true. The only effect I want is for laws to change to protect people from activity like this. The letter ends, let the state bury me. I think that is only fair since their laws had me with no choices because I am poor. Now, in this letter, McFerrin says she tried killing herself once before, but says she didn't take enough pills. Now, last November, McFerrin filed a complaint with the ABC 6 on Your Side Call for Action team. At that time, she was in mediation with the Better Business Bureau. Now, it's our policy not to handle complaints in mediation or litigation, so we never had any contact with Bridget McFerrin. Guys, back to you.
All right, Tom, the final words of a desperate woman. Thank you. Well, a mother who says she saved her kids after crashing into a river is now charged with drunk driving. We were the only station there when Heather Adams appeared in Fairfield County Court this morning. Police say she drove her SUV into the Hocking River over the weekend. She pulled her boys out of the water. She then went to the hospital where court records show alcohol was in her blood and she was taking a drug used to help heroin addiction. Adams has pleaded not guilty. A child was rushed to the hospital after being shot. The child was taken by helicopter to Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus. The Holmes County Sheriff's Office tells us the shooting was accidental.
Now a story you'll only see on ABC6. A crowded bar set on fire. Two men poured gasoline all over the roof. And as reporter Adam Slinger tells us, it was all caught on camera.
And they take off running. You can see the flames light up the parking lot and the images of the people who committed the crime.
And theirs weren't lit up. Now you see his jacket, his face, he's smoking a cigarette.
It was May 1st, around 4 a.m., here at the after-hours bar called Privacy Matters on Parsons Avenue. And the bar still had several people inside.
These guys wasn't messing around. They knew what they was doing. They was there to do a job.
Columbus fire investigator Jeff Broughton showed us the video of the arson. Just moments before the fire started, you can see one of the guys carrying a stack of crates. Crates they would use to jump onto the roof. They also brought with them a gallon of gasoline.
You see in the gentleman's hand, he's got a gas can.
Jeff says investigators have no idea who these two guys are, but they need to find them. This fire could have killed people.
Well, they're dangerous for one. You know, the streets talk faster than we can hear stuff, and that's why we turn to the streets.
And back out here live, you can tell it would have taken several of these crates to actually reach the top of the roof. It doesn't look like those crooks fired the cameras either. If you have any idea who those two guys are, investigators at the Columbus Fire Department want to hear from you. You could earn a reward. Live on Parsons Avenue, Adam Slinger, ABC 6 News.
Adam, thanks. Right now, volunteers are gathering signatures trying to get Ohio's collective bargaining law repealed, and momentum seems to be in their favor, at least according to one poll. ABC 6's Tom Bosco is now live on the Ohio State campus. Tom?
Yeah, Bob, volunteers here on campus are trying to get people signed up on those petitions. Check it out. In fact, looks like we've got a number of student volunteers there and a number of folks signing the petitions there. It was a petition. It's a petition that would put the state's new law limiting collective bargaining up for a public vote. Those volunteers must feel some validation after the latest poll numbers are out from Quinnipiac University. They show that if the vote was taken today, 54% of Ohioans would vote to repeal the new law based on Senate Bill 5. Now, the effort to kill the bill started shortly after the governor signed it into law. Opponents say it is anti-middle class and anti-union. The law limits the rights of union workers to bargain and to go on strike. The governor says it's needed to help balance the budget, but opponents say it's going to hurt Ohio in the long run. The group We Are Ohio says they are pleased that the poll numbers back up their efforts.
We have over 10,000 volunteers out right now collecting signatures, and this is exactly what we're seeing is a lot of enthusiasm on the ground to get it on the ballot and repeal it.
Now, I also wanted to hear what Governor Kasich thinks of those poll numbers. His spokesman told me that they never comment on polling data. Rob Nichols does say, quote, the governor's drive to restore Ohio has never been about politics, but about helping to create jobs and restore our state. In the meantime, the efforts continue statewide with those 10,000 volunteers, including some right here on the Ohio State University campus, to collect more than 200,000 signatures by the end of June. Reporting live on OSU's campus, I'm Tom Bosco, ABC 6 News.
Now in your first warning forecast, as promised, today a little bit better than yesterday, and that trend will continue. Not much in the way of rain showers and temperatures inching up towards 60 degrees and then some as we go through the next 24 to 36 hours. But right now, 5:09 p.m., first warning Doppler showing no showers anywhere in central Ohio. A couple of the raindrops northeast of Mount Vernon and Coshocton where they're going to stay. So your evening forecast will include a couple of those showers dropping down from north to south for you. Overall, temperatures are going to remain rather calm. We're looking at 50s right now in our first warning weather spotters. While the rest of the forecast coming up after the break.
All right, thank you, Jerry. ABC6 has some ideas on how to lessen the pain at the pump. We're all feeling it. And recently, our reporters were challenged to find alternative ways to work.
This is fun. They found some very creative ways, and here's how ABC6 reporter Maria Durant did it.
I decided to ride to work today for two reasons. One, because I thought, great exercise, and I'm riding in a Pelotonia, so this will be really good. Now, here's my bike. Here's my bike helmet, and I am wearing a bright yellow vest so that everyone on the road can see me. So, say goodbye to my car, and I am heading off to work. Okay, the easy part has been riding in my neighborhood. Now I have to get onto the road, and there are a lot of cars, no bike path, trying to do this safely and get to work. I made it! Not bad.
All right.
She made it, but the sound didn't.
It was a very, very quiet ride.
It was.
She's just one of several reporters that we did this with. They all had to shoot it on their droids, which was one of the challenges we gave to them. So.
Yeah, which is really exciting for us to see all of these. We're going to show you how other ABC6 reporters did it throughout this newscast, and maybe you'll get some ideas and you'll want to do the same. Now, if you still need to drive to work, though, remember ABC6 is on your side with the Pump Patrol. Our website has a gas price map, a place to report prices you find, and you can track how gas prices are trending. Just go to our website, abc6onyourside.com, and look in the Hot Topics section.
On a week full of semi-accidents around Central Ohio, let's have a look at another one here causing problems out to the east with John Hill. John?
Yeah, 7 east out to Bexley into Reynoldsburg. Bob has been rather slow, although the semi involved is gone. 7 eastbound had cars off to the left and right before Bryce, but again, we are backed up all the way through 33 and in towards the Livingston curve right now. Let me show you a little bit what they're dealing with as you're making your way out on 70 eastbound, passing 33. That's eastbound coming to the bottom of your screen, the exit to 33 off that left-hand side. But again, this is in the clearing stages. One other accident working on 71 southbound. We're at the 670 west. That one off to the right. Yolanda.
All right, thank you, John. New at 5, a local credit union warning customers about a security breach. A message on the Total Assurance Federal Credit Union website says a security problem forced it to close all of its debit card accounts, but that the accounts are safe. The credit union serves employees of several health-related organizations. We stopped by and tried to talk with someone at the credit union today, and they told us the problem had been taken care of. A student is suspended and faces criminal charges, what school leaders say they found him with.
The lawmakers are considering a ban on certain bath salts. The risk that they carry that has nothing to do with you relaxing in the tub.
And we continue to follow breaking news here on ABC6. A school bus crashed in Orange Township today. You can see it wound up in a ditch there. This happening about 5 minutes till 3. We're told no students were hurt, but a man driving a van, the van that hit that bus, was rushed to a hospital. We'll have more on this story as it develops.
It's a drug that more and more teens are getting their hands on. Bath salts. Lawmakers say abuse is at an all-time high. Our A.J. Ross is live at the State House tonight where there's talk of actually banning these products, A.J.?
You're right, Bob. Representative Clayton Lucky actually introduced this bath salt ban right here earlier this morning, and he says this isn't your ordinary everyday suds and bubbles. In fact, these bath salts are called White Lightning, Ivory Wave, and Hurricane Charlie, and they're very potent drugs too many kids in Ohio are abusing.
Bath salt? It's from the bath? I says, no, we snort it. And I'm saying, you joking.
Representative Clayton Lucky says there's nothing funny about the number of kids and teens abusing bath salts.
I think it's a problem across the whole United States, especially in Ohio just hit. It's just like when crack hit the urban areas or when meth hit the rural areas.
Now Representative Lucky is pushing this issue before the Health and Aging Committee.
Are there people that practically use this product at all?
No. Used for one thing, to get high.
The salts are manufactured overseas with inconspicuous labeling. They're not illegal. We stopped by this gas station on Morse Road where we were told we could buy some.
Do you have any White Lightning?
Really?
Yeah.
I just met it down the street.
I don't, but I have it on the other store.
Lawmakers admit a ban on all bath salts would be too drastic, so they want to target cathinone, a common chemical found in these products.
Parents or guardians have responsibilities too, to watch out for their children, and we can't go around the state banning or making necessarily make it more difficult to access so many products.
At the State House, I'm AJ Ross, ABC 6 News.
ABC 6 is on your side, and we're going to prove that 2 is better than 1, as in...
The iPad 2. We have given away several iPads, but this week we're giving away an iPad 2, if you can find it. Now, our contest is called Where is the ABC 6 iPad 2? Each day during ABC 6 News at 5, we'll post a clue on Facebook, so you can try to figure out where the iPad 2 is hidden. Now, we'll take down the clue. You need to take down the clue at 11:30 each night. You need to check it out before 11:30 because that's when we're going to take it down. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. Collect all 5 clues this week, and we'll open the phone lines on Friday. And, Bob, I had someone hit me on Facebook today and said, hey, I already know where it is. I figured it out. Can I tell now? I said, no. You have to go till Friday because you have to read all the clues.
How could, we're still trying to figure out the answer to yesterday's clue.
Exactly. It didn't make any, I couldn't figure it out. It didn't make any sense to me.
All right. Well, we haven't asked the Google yet, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So we will. All right. So, again, be sure to check out the clue now. It's there till 11:30 tonight, and again tomorrow, and also Friday. And then Friday we'll open up the phone lines for you to phone in and give us your ideas. Absolutely. And speaking of Facebook, let's see how many Facebook fans we have right now. Currently, 30,379 friends. Our goal here right now is 50,000. So go to our Facebook page there and like us. To get in on the conversation, go to Facebook.com and type ABC6 Columbus. Well, the Mississippi River is cresting at lower than expected levels in some areas, but in Morgan City, Louisiana, the city is already surrounded by water. The Grubb family here is refusing to leave their home, and it's been in their family for more than a century, and they don't want to leave it behind. This is their version of living on higher ground. It took 19 hours to jack up the house, which is outside the seawall. The water is already creeping up, but they say they are staying.
And in your first warning forecast, any hint of showers and wet weather across central Ohio, fewer and further between, just as expected during the day today. Still rather cloudy out there and cool, but we are starting to improve things very slowly as we get through the middle and second half of the week. Right now, first warning Doppler, downtown Columbus, Franklin County. We are rain-free. It's been the case for much of the day today, save for a couple of showers before noon. We're also watching some larger showers and actually some severe weather in the northeastern corner of Ohio, but having a real tough time making it any further south than Mount Gilead or Mount Vernon or Marion. So the northern areas, you might see a shower before sunset this evening. Everybody else, slight chance of a raindrop after we get through tonight. It can rain all at once to at night. Hopefully we'll keep the dry weather coming during the daylight hours, and that should be the case as we get to the second half of the week. Current temperature is doing a bit better than yesterday, running around 60 in Columbus, 59 in Dublin, and a good evening Westerville. Right now, temperature just shy of 60. Across the rest of the region, a little cooler in Delaware, 57 degrees, around 60 in Lancaster, the hot spot in Newark right now, if you call it that, around 61, but these temperatures still about 10, 15 degrees below where they should be for the middle part of May. But as I just said, we're turning that corner, and we'll see the improvement on many scales, including the temperature as we get to the second half of the week. Downtown Columbus right now still looking rather murky, but we're seeing at least brighter skies, let's say, looking at the optimistic point of view off into the distance. Temperature right now 57. Winds are light. That's some good news, and our relative humidity is not 100% as it's been lately, now 82%. So still a little on the muggy or damp side out there, but we're not seeing any showers for the moment. So as you're making your plans for this evening, maybe the kids have a meet, a game, practice, it should be okay until about 7 to 8 p.m. and a couple of those showers work back down from the north to the south in the second half of the evening and then overnight tonight. Look at the big picture for us then. We're watching, and this has been the same graphic we use in terms of those red arrows. This is the counterclockwise curl, that circulation. Very unusual for this time of year to last this long. It's been days. We're kind of in a meteorological rut. We're going to break out of that, not before we have one more day, especially tonight and tomorrow, where those showers work back down from north to south. Along with that, we'll slowly see the winds change and bring out some drier conditions back in. And some new information into the First Warning Forecast Center starting 5 p.m. tonight. Better chance of those scattered showers across the north through the nighttime hours and tomorrow morning. We'll still carry the chance of a couple of showers and maybe a thunderstorm too, especially north of Columbus for the second half of the day on Thursday. Your first warning details for tonight. Temperatures down a little bit warmer, low 50s, a couple of showers during the day tomorrow. Slight chance of a shower or late day storm. Temperatures back tomorrow about 5 or 6 degrees warmer than today. We'll call it mid-60s. Now, Friday, in your weekly planner, slight chance of a morning shower, drying out, 72. 75 on Saturday, more clouds than sun, but nicer, and a chance of showers and thunderstorms. But at least temperatures from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Bob, will be flirting with 80 degrees.
I'm thinking Saturday right now, Jerry. Thank you. Looks good. All the rain is making life tough for the Columbus Clippers Browns crew. They've had their work cut out for them. You'll see the hard work is needed to get the ball game or the ball field in game shape coming up.
And time for another alternative idea on how to get to work. Here's how ABC6 reporter Adam Slater did it.
Normally it takes me about 7 minutes to drive to work, but Google Earth says it'll take me about an hour to walk the 3 miles today. So let the great experiment begin. I noticed that there are not sidewalks here, and Google Earth didn't tell me that either. So I'm walking on the side of the road. I left at 11:15. It is now 12:12. So save 3 minutes off. Expected time. Take that, Google Earth.
Hardest working men in Columbus these days might be the grounds crew at Huntington Park.
ABC6's Clay Hall says they've dealt with 4 rainouts this season, and they're often dodging raindrops.
The tarp down is the rule rather than the exception this season for the Clippers.
It's been miserable. This is the worst year that I can remember having. And this is 12 years for me in professional baseball, and some of the guys at the ballpark, this is 30 years in, and it's just been terrible.
Even when it stops raining, there is no relief.
There's just no sun, and so there's no photosynthesis, so we don't get it's not producing the food. At cold, it wants the plant to shut down and go back to sleep because it's used to hibernating basically when it's too cold.
Rainouts are a concern, and Columbus is not the only affected party.
4 games already in 3 homestands is more than I've had in a whole season. And Major League Baseball lost 4 more last night, and they're up to 30 this year, which is more than they had all of last season.
Forgive them, but they curse the meteorologists.
We do. I know it's not their fault, but we do. No, we're not in love with the weatherman right now.
At Huntington Park, I'm Clay Hall, ABC6 News.
Down, Jerry. Down, Jerry.
It is fun to blame Jerry, isn't it?
We do it too. Well, thieves can just walk by and steal your credit card number. This is new. New high-tech debit cards are easy targets for cheap and easy ways that crooks are ripping you off.
A 12-year-old 6th grader faces criminal charges for having a kill list with 37 names on it.
ABC6 News on your side. But first, this breaking news alert.
Well, update our breaking news from earlier on this afternoon. A school bus crash, which happened about 2.5 hours ago in Orange Township, right outside of Shanahan Middle School. Students told our crew that they noticed a van driving down the middle of the street. There was a collision. The next thing they knew, the bus was in the ditch, tilted there, as you see. No students were hurt. There were about 50 on the bus at the time. The man driving the van, though, has been taken to the hospital. We're working to find out his condition and maybe more about what caused this. A 12-year-old is accused of having a hit list at a Central Ohio high school. It happened at Paint Valley Middle School, actually, in Ross County. ABC6 reporter Carol Looper spoke to a parent and the principal.
Today is a typical school day. Middle schoolers playing dodgeball. But 37 of them learned last Wednesday they were on a classmate's kill list. The mother of one girl on the list is also the school nurse. She got the call Wednesday night.
I teared up. I called my husband. I was in a panic. You know, I was shocked.
Her daughter wasn't worried, but she was, even though the list writer is an honor student.
She was capable of thinking about it and going to the extent of making a list. She's capable of doing it.
Paint Valley's principal called the parents with kids on the list.
There was some panic. They wanted to know right away, what steps did we take? Is their child safe for the next day?
First, they called the sheriff. This sheriff's report says she's facing criminal charges. She's been suspended and tomorrow there's an expulsion hearing. No one seems to know why the 12-year-old wrote the list, but the principal tells me kids text and Facebook mean things all the time. She hopes this is a lesson.
I'm hoping that they realize that when they say threatening things, that we do take it seriously and that there are consequences.
In Ross County, I'm Carol Looper, ABC 6 News.
Columbus police and the FBI now are investigating a bank robbery at the Fifth Third branch on Holt Road. This happened around 9:30 this morning. Some surveillance photos here from the robbery. The police and the FBI believe this is the same guy who robbed a Chase Bank on Polaris Parkway May 5th. If you have some information, if you recognize him, call Columbus Police or the FBI.
A controversial billboard is now up in Dayton. PETA's ad reads, "Everybody is somebody's baby, go vegan." It shows a picture of meat by a microwave. Well, the timing of the billboard coincides with the sentencing of China Arnold, a woman convicted of killing her daughter by putting her in a microwave. Well, this story is a big talker on our ABC 6 Facebook page today. Here's a live look at the page. We'd certainly love to hear your thoughts. To get in on the conversation, just go to facebook.com and type in ABC6 Columbus. We are reinventing our Wheel of Justice just for tonight. Some of Central Ohio's most wanted predators are about to take a spin. ABC 6's Steve Levine unveils the Wheel of Justice Sex Offender Edition.
Before we get to those wanted sex offenders, we have a double dose of justice for our Wall of Justice. Not one, but two fugitives are now behind bars after being featured on the Wheel of Justice. Denzel McEwen, charged with murder, arrested Sunday night. A day later, Ronald Carruthers, wanted for receiving stolen property, also locked up. Now, on to our Wheel of Sex Offenders. Joining me is Sergeant B.G. Duffer with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office to fill us in on who you're searching for.
Tonight, the hunt is on for 6 registered sex offenders who have not reported to authorities where they are living. They are Roger Howard, Adam Richardson, Safan Prune, Timothy Joyner, Ronald Will, and Hassan Hassan.
Now let's spin the wheel to learn whose luck is about to run out.
Tonight, we need your help in finding Adam Richardson.
And here's why police want to get Adam Richardson off the streets. Your help is needed to get registered sex offender 35-year-old Adam Richardson off the streets.
Adam Richardson was convicted of gross sexual position of a 9-year-old female. He was convicted back in 2006.
Richardson's been missing in action since March when he failed to notify authorities where he's living. He's around 6 feet tall, has black hair, and brown eyes.
If someone knows where Mr. Richardson's living or working, please contact the local law enforcement agent and let them know that there's a warrant on this individual so that way we can come and pick him up.
If you know where we can find any of these fugitives, call Crime Stoppers at 614-461-TIPS.
With your help, the odds are good we'll find these guys. With Sergeant B.G. Duffer, I'm Steve Levine, ABC 6 News.
Crime Stoppers will be in our Fighting Back phone bank tomorrow during ABC 6 News at 5 and 6 o'clock. They'll take your tips about unregistered sex offenders in your neighborhood. Well, you can learn about crime near you with the ABC 6 Fighting Back text alerts. Just go to abc6onyourside.com and you'll find the link at the top of the page there.
Down your first 20 forecast, let's get to this downtown Columbus shot immediately because, believe it or not, I do think we'll see a couple of shadows in some of the buildings, the AEP building downtown right now, and look at a little bit of sun, a little bit of shadow being cast near Nationwide Arena. It's not going to be long-lived, so we'll look at a couple of shadows, a little bit of sunshine, still mostly cloudy for most of us this evening, but at least we're not seeing the rain, and temperatures are inching upward towards 60 degrees. We'll watch the numbers staying steady for the rest of the evening. We're calm right now at a relative humidity of 82%. And coming up in your full first 20 forecast, we'll talk about the next 24 hours. Still the chance of some rain and storms, but then an improvement coming just in time for the weekend.
Perfect timing. Thank you, Jerry. Now, new at 5:30, Governor Kasich is considering changing the way that your license looks. ABC 6 reporter Dana Turtle joining us now live in West Columbus with what people think about pink. Dana.
Well, Bob, the reason for all the hype about this is because the governor just got himself a new license. Here's an example of the new one. This is a salmon or pink colored here on the right side. And then on this side here, this is the older style license. So, yeah, there's definitely a difference here. We spoke with people just a couple of hours ago about what they think about this whole issue. And, again, salmon or pink colors, they've been issued here since 2009. And that pinkish color is there because it's supposed to improve security by making it harder for folks to reproduce a phony ID. And surprisingly, like we said, a lot of you told us you don't mind the color or care at all. But here is exactly what the governor said in Dayton yesterday.
Everybody says, can you change it from pink? And then I looked at it and I went, whoa. So I think we're thinking about whether we can have a better color. We'll see.
Actually, I think it's good to have because it'd be harder to counterfeit. Anything that distinguishes from the regular colored licenses would be a good thing.
And I think that there's more important issues out there that the government can't be worried about.
On the west side, now it's important to point out here that the governor did say this tongue-in-cheek, so it wasn't like he was saying he absolutely hated it. But again, here's the two examples, a salmon or pink-colored one and the old one right here. So again, he is just considering possibly changing the color of this, but for right now, it's going to stay pink. So we'll see what he decides, and of course, it's up to you at home as well. For Live on the West Side, I'm Dana Turtle, ABC 6 News.
Just realized I had one. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't care what color it is, as long as my picture looks pretty decent. Well, some Tea Party members are pretty upset about a law that's meant to help them, what they have against these license plates.
The mistress has been identified. See the woman who gave birth to Arnold Schwarzenegger's love shot. It's time for another alternative idea on how to get to work. Here's how ABC 6 reporter Carol Looper did it.
When the alarm goes off, time to get up and take the bus to work this morning. Here I am at the bus stop, and here comes my bus.
It cost $1.75.
Here I am on the bus, coming down bus.
It dropped me off 2 blocks from my next bus.
So I walked from Broad and Fifth across the way down to the bus stop at the Athenaeum, and it's raining. So here I am at the Athenaeum, waiting about half an hour for the next bus.
I did remember to get a transfer.
I'm going to transfer along. This way. This way. With me. Here's some of the folks who rode with me to the last stop. And here's the last stop on Watermark. Thank you.
And I did get a ride to the station.
A little over an hour, and here I am in Channel 6. It's warm and dry.
TMZ has released pictures of the woman Arnold Schwarzenegger got pregnant. Her name is Mildred Patricia Baina, and she goes by Patty, and we're told she worked in the Schwarzenegger mansion as a housekeeper and assistant for more than 20 years before retiring in January. And when she gave birth to Schwarzenegger's child 14 years ago, his wife, Maria Shriver, was pregnant with their 4th child. Last week, Schwarzenegger and wife Maria Shriver abruptly announced their separation after 25 years of marriage. According to the LA Times, Shriver moved out after Schwarzenegger told her about the affair and the child.
Members of Arizona's Tea Party groups are calling for a boycott against a law that's meant to help them. The law allows the state to sell new license plates featuring the Tea Party's "Don't Tread on Me" logo. The plates cost an extra $25 a year, with 17 of those dollars going to Tea Party-friendly organizations. Sounds like a win for the Tea Party, but not everyone is happy about it.
The Tea Parties are about less government, not more government. This created an agency for the state with a board of 13 people to administer money.
But another Tea Party group supports the idea, says the plates give the groups greater exposure.
Well, it's called electronic pickpocketing, the new way thieves are stealing from you. How to protect yourself from people just walking by. Coming up.
A new home and a new beginning for the Rhodes family. From this to this in just 1 week. Tonight, a look inside the cramped life of the Rhodes family before. Their life now, with the ups and downs of a big new home.
There's more cleaning, more steps. So we have to assign chores.
How the design team created a home for a family they had never met.
It was big, it was tall, which is exactly what they were going for. They wanted a really extreme look to the house.
An entire community who pitched in to build a house in less than a week. And how this one home is sparking change for the entire neighborhood.
We're redoing the entire area. In fact, this whole neighborhood is undergoing an extreme makeover.
You're watching a special presentation of ABC 6 News, Extreme Makeover, Columbus Edition.
And good evening, and welcome to the American Edition neighborhood of Northeast Columbus. I'm Bob Kendrick. Behind me, the beautiful home built for the Rhodes family. And here now, just a little bit of what you're going to see here in the next hour.
And I'm Maria Duran. I'll be with the Rhodes family throughout the evening. We'll tell you why this family was chosen and how life has changed since they are now in their new home. Plus, we'll give you a sneak peek into the vacation that the show provided for them. I'm Terry Sullivan at the Tralee Rec Center in the American Edition neighborhood. You know, the Extreme Makeover home for the Rhodes family was just the beginning. I'm going to show you the effort to bring new homes to this area and how the Extreme Makeover team gave a special gift to these kids.
I'm Tom Bosco at the watch party being hosted by P&D Builders. That's the local company that designed and built this incredible home for the Rhodes. Now, building this home in just 7 days was a huge undertaking. There were so many challenges and obstacles that they faced, and we'll tell you how they overcame those challenges.
This, of course, all started with one life-changing knock on the door last August, and we were there to watch it all unfold. A shout from a bullhorn. They lived under one roof so that a grandmother and grandfather could help provide for their daughter and her 4 children while she recovered from a brain tumor. It meant 7 people living in just 900 square feet with just 1 bedroom and just 1 bathroom. Now a group of strangers rolls into town offering the Rhodes hope and a new home.
It just done something to me that I don't share. It just was a blessing because they don't know us. I don't even know if they know our story, but they stepped up to the plate, and we want to thank them with all our heart.
The Rhodes have a wish list. Small things most of us take for granted.
I just want a bed. I need a bed to lay in. I'm tired of laying in the house.
I would like to have air conditioning because, you know, the situation, everybody's hot and irritable, and it makes the situation worse. So if we could get air, central air, oh my goodness, they probably wouldn't even know I lived there.
Santa, his elves, and an army of volunteers are ready to grant those wishes.
It's a palm tree. You know what that means? That means you guys are going on vacation.
The Rhodes leave for California and vacation. Volunteers pack and move out their things. Chris Kringle and dozens like him wave goodbye to the Rhodes old home.
He's taking it down with coal.
Crushed by a bag of coal. Then flattened by the strong arm of a bulldozer. For the next 4 days, a flurry of activity, building a huge new house from the ground up. Volunteers in red and green t-shirts work around the clock. They have to turn over the keys to the designers, who in turn only have 24 hours to make this house a home for the Rhodes family. There are only a few clues about what the inside will look like. A leather chair, a striped chair, and a wood table. Volunteers transform the outside into a gift worthy of the holiday season. All leading up to the moment when they find Rhodes get to see their new home, a special gift from an entire community. It is a joyous end to a frantic week, and the beginning of a new chapter for this family. And that is what we'll finally all be able to see here tonight in the 2-hour broadcast. Now, one person who actually does know what it looks like inside, she's been in there many times, is our Maria Durant. Maria joining us now live at the watch party for the family and the builders. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Bob, but I've been sworn to secrecy, so I can't tell you yet what it looks like inside that home. Now, Extreme Makeover receives hundreds of applications each year, and a family like the Rhodes, who you see right here, well, they are chosen based on a few different criteria. One, the impact to the community, and of course, the family's needs.
As the bus moves into this northeast side neighborhood, a family awaits the wake-up call changing lives. James Rhodes and his family receiving a Christmas gift in August, a new home, courtesy of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and thousands of Columbus volunteers.
He is one of the most deserving people that I know to get this.
About a year ago, the show contacted Homeport, a housing advisory center here in Columbus. The show looking for a Central Ohio family to help.
They contacted us to nominate a family or several families. So we pursued the American Edition neighborhood.
And there they met the Rhodes. James Rhodes has lived in the American Edition neighborhood all of his life. He's a man who has always given back, so it's fitting that someone give back to him. and his friends agree.
Because he's so loving. He cares. He gives thanks to everybody.
A man with a heart of gold who had given so much actually needed help himself. His daughter Makia and her 4 children moved into their tiny 1-bedroom, 900-square-foot home last year. This is the inside of the cramped quarters they called home. Makia moved in because doctors had diagnosed her with a cancerous brain tumor. She had a 50% chance of surviving. She had to quit her job. So James welcomed his daughter and her children into their home so he and his wife could take care of them.
We don't do it to be loved. It's just something to come natural.
That commitment is why Ty Pennington and his designers believe the Rhodes family deserved a new home.
The house is tiny. Way too many family members. They've been through a lot. They deserve a bigger space. It had termites. It was old. But there was a lot of love that went into that house, and they're a great family.
A family worthy of such an early Christmas gift.
Now think about it, that whole family living in a 1-bedroom home, Nakia and her 4 kids, well, they didn't have a bed to sleep on, they slept in the living room, but that has all changed now, Bob.
Boy, it's it ever, Maria, and we're going to see just how much over the course of the evening. So it's clear that the Rhodes family obviously needed a new home, but how do you design it, especially when you haven't met the family? Tom Bosco joining us now from that same watch party is going to show us some of the many ways that they came up with their design ideas.
Yeah, Bob, I got to spend a lot of time with the company that designed the home and got to see some of the cool tools that P&D builders used to put this all together.
The story of the Rhodes family tugs at the heartstrings.
They ran on hard times like a lot of people. It was a multi-generational family that needed help.
Offering that help wasn't a tough decision.
We saw that family, and it was very touching right from the beginning.
Ed Snodgrass's P&D builders built luxury homes all over Central Ohio, but this was going to have to be different. Ed knew his designers, Ron Dane and Justin Lipe, were up to the challenge.
It definitely is fun as a designer to be involved in something like this.
Neither designer had met the family, but they knew what the Rhodes family needed.
They wanted a very big great room, an open floor plan, big kitchen. They wanted 4 bedrooms with a grandparents suite, kind of separate from the rest of the house.
So Ron turned to his computer.
Everything is drawn in true 3D.
Not only did he have to consider the family's needs, but also the limitations of the narrow lot the Rhodes home sat on.
There's not a whole lot that we can do on a 40-foot lot, so we knew we were going tall.
So Ron used 3D modeling to design a brownstone in the Italianate style.
Just like books, movies, and paintings can have a theme, so too can architecture. And the theme of the Rhodes home is the magic number 3.
3 floors, 3 sections, rows of 3 windows, all representing 3 generations living here.
It's unique to have 3 generations living in the same house. That was important, that they needed their own space from what they were in prior to that.
The designers couldn't be more pleased with how it turned out.
I was real happy about how it looked. It was big, it was tall, which is exactly what they were going for. They wanted a really extreme look to the house. They really embrace the extreme factor in all this, so they want something that's going to wow people.
But even more important to them is that the Rhodes family loves it.
One of the most rewarding things that I've ever been a part of is when they move the bus and just to see their expression. That was something that truly I'll probably never get again.
Now, you know, we talk about the fact that the whole project was on a compressed timeline, building that house in just 106 hours. The designers were on a compressed timeline, too. The design that should have taken them about 2.5 weeks was put together in the course of about a day and a half. Bob?
It still just boggles the mind, and the home just came out so beautifully, Tom. Thanks. We'll check back in with you here shortly now. Of course, the builders would also like to thank anyone who donated supplies, and of course, all of those who donated their skills to building the house. Obviously, the project wouldn't have been possible without that help.
Coming up on Extreme Makeover Columbus Edition, the need for donations.
You need 16,000 bottles of water. You'll need 4 pallets of juice, and you'll need 4 pallets of Gatorade, and you'll need 4 pallets of Powerade drinks.
The long list of supplies needed, and how the builders met the challenge of getting it all organized in just a few weeks. While the crew was in town, the show took on another project in the Rhodes neighborhood, and how it is helping kids in the area. Another local family who has been featured on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Why they did not want to be on this show at first.
We actually called the producers and told them we really didn't want the house, the home at all.
While volunteers were doing this, the Rhodes were doing this.
It was just amazing
and they had us just doing stuff I would have never thought I would do.
Snapshots from a special family vacation.
Just coming into the newsroom about an hour ago, a man is shot several times on the city's east side. Now, here's where it's happening on East Broad Street near North 20th Street in East Columbus. Our Mike McCarthy is there live. And, Mike, you just talked with investigators. Do we know right now what happened?
Yeah, well, Kayla, within about the last 5 minutes, we have confirmed with Columbus police that they do have a suspect in custody after this shooting here at this Chips and Go gas station.
Within the last 15 minutes, you have new information on this shooting.
Yeah, Carolyn, Columbus police now telling us apparently the victim and the shooter in this case apparently did know each other. A witness told police he saw the two men show up together here at this gas station in that white car, and just a few minutes later is when the shooting happened. Let me show you some new video that was shot within the last half hour of that suspected shooter being taken into custody a few blocks away. We're not showing his face right now because so far he has not yet been charged. A witness actually saw the suspect run from the scene here, and police nabbed him just a few blocks away. Columbus police are here right now really kind of wrapping up their investigation here at the gas station. The shooting happened right where you see firefighters right now hosing down some of the evidence of the violence that was here earlier this morning. Let me take you back to earlier this morning and show you actually some exclusive video we shot within the hour of the suspect being taken into custody.
Any idea what the fight was about?
Yeah, but Carolyn, so far Columbus police have not released that information, but they do believe the victim and the shooter did in fact know each other. And really, Columbus police, they cleared out of here just about a half hour ago, and it's back to business as usual here inside this gas station store. But earlier this morning, good morning to you. Columbus police have cleared out of the crime scene here. It's back to normal, but we did just learn the names of both the victim and the accused gunman in this shooting. The victim is 28-year-old Donald Jackson, and the suspect, according to police, is 25-year-old Freddie Johnson Jr. Now, witnesses say they saw Johnson running from the scene here earlier this morning, and only our camera was there a few blocks away.
He's been there live all morning following the developments as they happen. Mike, what's the latest update?
Hey, well, Carolyn, we know, according to police, that the victim, 28-year-old Donald Jackson, have a couple names this morning. Donald Jackson is in a critical condition, and the suspect, 25-year-old Freddie Johnson Jr., is not saying much to the detectives, but a witness here at this gas station this morning when the shooting happened did identify Johnson as the shooter. This is
a police chase ends in gunfire. ABC6 reporter Dana Turtle was there seconds after it happened, and Dana's checking in live in Grandview. Dana.
Well, I tell you what, Andy, it was a scary situation. My photographer, Rob, and I literally witnessed this car right here fleeing from police, and here you can see the damage here as it crashed into the BP area here and another vehicle. Again, police were chasing this car, and what I can tell you here is that it was actually on 670, apparently for a traffic stop. The guy wouldn't stop. Take a look at the raw video that we took just a short time ago. Again, this literally just happened. The guy was rolling northbound on Grandview, went right through the red lights and struck a silver Honda Accord where a woman was injured and taken to the hospital. No word on her condition right now. Now, what we did see is the guy ended up getting pulled out of his car once he crashed, again, right at the BP at 33 in Grandview. And then police officers pulled him out and said, quote, all you had to do was stop. Well, obviously the guy didn't stop. And once they had him in handcuffs, they pulled out some drugs, some dope out of his car, from what the officer told me, some crack cocaine and some marijuana, which is likely why the reason the guy did not stop. Again, back out here live right now, you can see that a tow truck is here about to take this car away. Good news, the intersection is back open, but a scary situation here in the Grandview Heights area just under an hour ago.